Well, my top two or three focuses at the moment would be on the Indiana Toll Road. We're working on the development of an economic development corridor, the length of the toll road, trying to capitalize on the asset that the toll road represents and use it as a tool to step up economic development in this region. Along with that, we're looking at the possibility of developing a fiber optic corridor along the toll road to give 21st century broadband capacity to this region in ways that we haven't been able to do it before. You know, we're really interested in trying to get more high-tech employers coming to this area, and we're interested in getting corporate headquarters in this area because it brings so many diverse types of jobs to the region. Those things simply won't happen if we don't have high-capacity broadband communications. And this one we're working on so that there will be access to it for all the communities along the toll road. Right now, there's a fair amount of fiber optic capacity along railroads, but it's very difficult for communities to get access to that. With the RDA, the Regional Development Authority, we're working very hard on all four of the priority areas, and those are the expansion of the Gary-Chicago Airport, the extension of the South Shore commuter train service to serve Southern Lake and Porter counties, the creation of a regional bus authority to bring our public transportation services together, and then the redevelopment of the southern shore of Lake Michigan to make it not only an attractive place for people to use the lake and to have access to it, but also to stimulate economic development in the areas adjacent to the lakefront. There will be short-term projects that we'll work on, but the real impact is long-term, over a long period of time. If any of those four priority areas are successful, they will transform Northwest Indiana in very positive ways. Then my third major priority, I was only supposed to give two, but I'm going to take three, is high-speed rail passenger service. These are services connecting major urban centers, usually 200 to 350 miles apart, high-speed, high-frequency service. And I like to say this is not your grandfather's passenger train. This is a very different approach. We'll be looking at 110-mile-an-hour service, very frequent, and it's important to us in northern Indiana for us to have this kind of new service available. Same is true in northeastern United States, where they've connected cities like Boston and New York together. And now, really, rail is much more attractive as a mode of travel than air is between such cities. Same thing can happen here in the Midwest. Valpo's got about everything you could want. I mean, if you look at Valparaiso, you've got a marvelous downtown. It's different than it used to be, but compared to other communities, you have a city center that people want to come to and enjoy. And you're working to make it better all the time. I just can't find, and you've got a more wonderful school system. Yep. A wonderful school system. I can't find things that I don't like about Valparaiso, if you want to know the truth. I think always remembering that even though Valparaiso is a jewel unto itself, it must be seen as a part of this greater region. And the leadership and the positive things about Valparaiso are not going to be destroyed by being a part of this greater region. You're going to help make the whole region better. And when it is, you'll be better in Valparaiso too. But I've come to realize that Northwest Indiana is our region. It's LaPorte, Porter, and Lake counties. And we have a common destiny. If any portion of Northwest Indiana falls behind, lags, has difficulty, can't achieve its potential, the whole region will suffer from that. And so I began to realize that it was important to make an investment in leadership, regional leadership, to help bring this whole region up. It's when we can think through and articulate a vision for the future of how things can be if we're willing to work together to make positive things happen. And then the hard work and the leadership to cause those things to occur. You know, I hear the phrase, sometimes people say that the best is the enemy of good. I look at it the other way. I think sometimes good is the enemy of best. That we're willing to settle for what we have because we haven't thought through what could be, what would be best for this region, and how do we achieve it. And that's where I like to spend my time and energy, on what's going to make this a better, stronger, more desirable place for people to live and work in the future.